between 1979 and 1981, Atlanta was gripped by fear. Over the course of nearly 2 years, dozens of black children and young adults vanished, and many were later found dead. The crimes would become known as the Atlanta child murders, one of the most disturbing and controversial crime cases in American history. It began quietly. In the summer of 1979, children in Atlanta's predominantly black neighborhoods started going missing. At first, the disappearances were treated as isolated incidents. Runaways, accidents, nothing that pointed to a larger pattern. But as months passed, the number kept growing. Bodies began to turn up in wooded areas, vacant lots, and along rivers. Most victims were boys, ranging in age from children to young adults. The similarities were impossible to ignore. Fear spread rapidly through the city, especially among parents who were suddenly afraid to let their children walk alone. By 1980, Atlanta was under immense pressure. Community outrage grew, as many residents believed authorities were not acting fast enough or taking the cases seriously. Protesters accused law enforcement of neglect, while parents organized patrols to protect their neighborhoods. The FBI eventually joined the investigation, launching one of the largest manhunts in U.S. history at the time. Despite massive resources, leads were scarce. Then, in May of 1981, police heard a splash under a bridge spanning the Chattahoochee River during a late-night surveillance operation. Minutes later, they stopped a car driven by a 23-year-old man named Wayne Williams. Williams claimed he was on his way to meet someone for business related to his work in music promotion. Investigators, already suspicious, began digging deeper. Soon after, the body of a young adult was found downstream from the bridge. Williams became the primary suspect. Fibers found in several victims were said to match those from Williams' home and car. In 1982, he was put on trial, not for the deaths of children, but for the murders of 2 adult men. The prosecution argued these killings were connected to the broader pattern of murders. Wayne Williams was convicted and sentenced to life in prison. After his conviction, authorities closed dozens of open cases, stating they believed Williams was responsible for most, if not all, of the Atlanta murders. But many people were not convinced. Families of the victims questioned the evidence. Critics argued that Williams was only tried for 2 murders, and that the remaining cases were never fully proven. Others pointed out inconsistencies in victim profiles and circumstances. Some believed there could have been more than one killer. Decades later, the case remains deeply disputed. Wayne Williams has always maintained his innocence. Many families continue to seek answers, reopening wounds that never truly healed. In recent years, renewed interest in the case has led to modern forensic testing and calls for transparency. But for many, justice still feels incomplete. The Atlanta child murders are not just a story of crime, they are a story of fear, community, pain, and unanswered questions. A chapter in American history that still echoes today. And for the families left behind, the search for truth has never ended.